Hello LEGO fans, I am pleased to introduce the first of many LEGO set reviews that will complement the StudWorks channel along with my MOCs. I'll be reviewing all of the 2023 LEGO Speed Champion sets, and I'll first be starting off with this, the much hyped 76917 Too Fast Too Furious Nissan Skyline GT-R R34. And I thought since it'd be fitting, I will also review last year's 769112 Fast and Furious 1970 Dodge Charger 2 in this double set review. The Charger is $20 US and comes with 345 pieces, while the GT-R is $25 US and comes with 319 pieces. In 2022, LEGO introduced a movie car sub-theme for Speed Champions with the Fast and Furious Dodge Charger and the 007 Aston Martin DB5. Both cars feature in the past as Technic and Creator Expert sets, respectively. I didn't buy the DB5 Speed Champion set since I've never had any interest in James Bond. I still remember the Technic Dodge Charger made quite the splash when it first came out, as despite the 10+ age rating for the set, Fast and Furious movies are not child-friendly. Seriously, read these Common Sense Media reviews for the first two movies these LEGO Speed Champion sets suitable for 9-year-olds and up are from. It is hilarious. On the side of love and hate for the Fast and Furious franchise, I'm on the side of believing it's total Hollywood dog crap. I only had the guts to watch the first one a few years back and I enjoyed the racing scenes and laughed at the dumb stuff, but had no interest in watching anymore. But whether you like the movies or not, the cars from the first 3 movies are so dang cool and iconic that I couldn't pass these sets up, especially the Skyline being from the tuner era of Fast and the Furious in the early days. So let's get to the review. I absolutely love the box design for the Charger, perfectly recreating the location of the famous race scene at the end of the first movie. Same goes for the Skyline's box, recreating the race scene from the second movie, which is shockingly the only scene the most iconic GT-R in the whole world is in. The manuals both unfortunately feature the infamous no background design most new LEGO sets have, and there's no pages in the beginning or end with bios of the cars or the movies. The builds are both very fun to build, the manuals are easy to follow and they feature some truly mind-boggling techniques, especially in the GT-R. I mean, look at this. Since the GT-R has so many stickers that are very tough to apply perfectly, you can use this priceless technique I learned from Racing Brick's review of this set. Just use the edge of the sticker sheet to reapply them. This works with any LEGO set stickers, and I wish I had known this all along as I have creased many stickers with my nails or an X-Acto knife while trying to reapply them to be on the right spot of the piece. Now the cars themselves, starting with the Charger. I heard people who liked the looks and didn't like it, but I think they nailed it. Sure, the front end should be rounder like the real car, but for this scale I think this is a good compromise. The blower, which funny enough is fake on the movie car, is made of these Technic pieces and I absolutely love it. I also love the side profile of the aggressive lean stance and spot on silhouette. These fake fend bumps are perfectly recreated with quarter-round tires and the roller skate door handle looks great as always. And just like the real car, there's only one side mirror. The long rear end looks spot on too. The gas cap and the license plate are actually the only stickers here. The black area for the bumper and the taillights are all printed pieces and I think they'll be great for MOC makers. These new Kragar style rim pieces are printed and they may look quite large compared to the real car, but I like them. You also get an extra one as a spare. The roof can come off easily for access to the interior and pops right back in. And even though it's not attached to any studs, the roof stays on no matter what I do, except if the car is held in the air upside down. The interior has a cleverly built roll cage where I can't tell in the passenger seat area is a fire extinguisher or NOS. Unfortunately, the steering wheel isn't lined up with Dom, and he can only fit in the car with his arm reaching the roof, which sounds perfectly Vin Diesel actually. If you want the car to perform an obviously impossible and fake burnout plus really combination with the help of special effects and an unseen pneumatic ram, it can do it, but the exhaust prevents the car from wheeling any higher than this. Still good enough for display if you can put some pieces below for it to stand. Now into the Skyline. There's a lot more detail packed on this than the Charger. Of course, there may be MOCs that capture the front of the iconic R34 better, since there are millions of them, but this still looks good. These 4 stickers for the stripes intercooler are a pain to apply but look great, and so is this 1x3 plate with the GTO logo printed on it if you could ignore the studs on top of it and viewing it from a lower angle. These exposed studs on the hood have caused complaints since day one. I don't like them much either, but they didn't really have a choice. If you really can't stand them though, there's tutorials on how to improve it with pieces you can easily buy on Bricklink. The iconic I loved or hated side stripe pattern is replicated perfectly with stickers in this mudguard piece, which for the first time in a Speed Champion set is printed, and there's a mirrored one on the other side. I also love the authentic Skyline GT emblem. I'm bugged though that the stickers don't feature door panel gaps next to the handle. I think they absolutely nailed the rear. The building techniques used for the beyond iconic taillights and third brake light is genius. Unfortunately, unlike the movie car, Toyo Tires is the only sponsor logo featured on the stickers. I think the hood studs may have prevented them from adding the other logos on the hood like the real car. The spoiler is also really neat. These metallic silver rim pieces are brand new and, for the first time in a LEGO Speed Champion set, 6-spoke. I think they look great and I wish all future Speed Champion sets could have rims as authentic and accurate as this. Unlike the Charger, however, a spare is not included. The interior has a whopping 3 stickers for the gauges and screens, just like on the movie car. It also has 3 nitrous bottles in metallic silver, a side grip shifter, and unlike the Charger, the steering wheel is actually censored with the driver. In the back, you can see there's a roll cage and even a rear seat. A realistic detail I don't think I've seen on a Speed Champion sports car set yet, although minifigures are obviously too tall and too big to fit in it. Also a first for a Speed Champions car, this seat has a print on it to make it look like the blue Sparko seat in the movie car. If you're wondering why they didn't make it a sticker, LEGO traditionally doesn't make stickers for pieces that other pieces, in this case a minifigure's back, would touch, and instead make a printed piece. I've seen this on various Speed Champions sets before. Unfortunately, unlike some other Speed Champions cars like the Charger, there's no headrest, which is especially odd. It makes the seat print look like it's cropped from the top. That's too bad. Under the GT-R are some trans light blue pieces that mimic the neon underglow on the movie car. Oddly enough, it's only on the rear since having some on the front would bottom out the car. Here's what the dog's Charger looks like without stickers applied. As you can see, it looks perfectly fine since there are so few stickers in the first place. My only recommendation would be to replace this 1x3 tile in light bluish gray with one in black for the grille. Other than that, if you're a Speed Champions fan who dislikes stickers, this is the set for you. Here's what the Nissan GT-R looks like without stickers. As you can see, it is the exact opposite of the Charger. The stickers are pretty much mandatory and the whole car just looks wrong without them, especially on the sides. Those printed mudguard pieces really make you feel shameful for not applying the stickers. The front looks odd too without the intercooler stickers. It makes the GT-R look like it's an electric car. Finally, the minifigures. Personally, I think this is where these movie car sets shine compared to the same old racing suits and helmets the normal Speed Champions line has. This minifigure of Vin Diesel's character, Dominic Toretto, in the Charger set makes me smile. It captures his persona perfectly with the loose black tank top, his eyebrows, and his expression. Or maybe it's the fact that he's bald with that stud on top of his head. Speaking of bald, if you ever wanted to see what Vin Diesel looked like with wigs on, this minifigure is your meme playground. Here's some pictures I took. On a melancholy note, this minifigure of Paul Walker's character Brian O'Connor, rest in peace, in the GT-R set is absolutely spot on too with his loose white t-shirt, wavy blonde hair, and 3 o'clock shadow. The torso piece is also cool. Since I don't remember seeing short sleeve tees from that many minifigures, it would surely be a desirable piece in the custom minifigure community. Just please don't do anything with this minifigure to be a jerk because you don't want to end up in this totally messed up situation this Australian LEGO store was in. Yeah. Unfortunately, a LEGO Speed Champion set of Paul Walker's Toyota Supra from the first movie is not yet available. But good news! The Wiggle website has you covered with these great and very popular MLCs. If you have one or both Fast and Furious sets, I highly recommend building one of these, especially to display next to the Charger. Love or hate the Fast and Furious movies, if you're at least a car enthusiast, I highly recommend you to consider adding these to your Speed Champions collection. They may not be perfect, but they're 2 of my favorite Speed Champion sets I've built so far.